Hey Stitch Cutie, I'm Brittany with Stitches of Love Quilting and welcome to the Applique tutorial for making your applique placement guides for your block 11. So what we're going to make is this darling block, and it's block 11 already. I know that's just crazy, but I'm so excited for this tutorial this month because look at my fun toys I have. I have my cordless light pad, which is awesome. There's 3 levels of light. I love it. See, that's off, 1, 2, 3. So awesome to have. Then on top of it, I have my glass. This is the Appliqué glass mat, which is awesome. We're so excited to bring this to you. And so what we're going to do is build our applique units. We're going to be able to iron on the glass, which is on top of our light pad, which is going to make building our applique units easier than ever. I'm so excited about this. And as always, I'm going to use my fusing mat to build the units, right? So let's get started. The fabric, we're going to set it aside. So we're going to build this whole thing, and then we will sew our fabric together and put it on there. So if you look at the instructions, we're going to build a unit that's pieces 1 through 6, and then the second unit is pieces 7 through 17. So piece of cake. First thing I'm going to do is make sure I know what piece is what, and all I need right now are my yellows and then the 1 black strip, right? But I will tell you these little rectangles are ever so slightly different. So number 3 is narrower. And then out of the 2 squares, see, one's just a hair longer. The longer one is number 4. The shorter one is number 2. And then of course we have our 2 triangles. They're easy to identify which is which. So this one is 6 and this one is 5. So what I'm going to do is just place these over here in the order that they're going to go down so I know. So I love about my fusing mat, they're going to stay right there. I don't have to worry about losing them. And I'm going to put this underneath and I'm going to turn my light pad on. So instead of having to go back and forth from my light pad to my ironing surface, like we've always done to build applique units, I'm going to keep it right here. Now it is kind of funny, the very first piece is black, so it's a little hard to see through black, but it's doable. So there we go. We're going to put 1 piece down here in the corner. And then we know that this piece goes right here in the corner. There we go. I'm going to do just a little tap. I'm not ironing it all the way right here, right? I'm just getting them to stick. I just want them to be friends right now, right? And then I am just going to gently lift and make sure I know where that center one goes right here. Whoop. There we go. And before I press that, I am just going to flip up and look. Just a little. I think that's it, y'all. I think that's the perfect spot. Cool. And then these 2 triangles are easy to line up because they go to the corner of the other square. Right? So if you have the corner lined up here, you know that's going to be right. Easy peasy. So this is 1 unit already. So let me just tap these pieces in place. Quick like. All right, so those are secured enough to stay together, right? Now let's move on to this big guy. And what I love about the pressing sheet, just leave that there. So what we're going to do, I know these 2 go together. So I'm going to actually build them as a little unit. And then move them out of the way for a second. And you can build the units however you like to build the units, right? As we say here at Stitches of Love, there are no quilt police. We don't allow them here. So now I'm just sort of going to lay my pieces out how they're going to go. I know I have my mouth. I know I'm going to have my eye. I have my 2 wings, so I'm just going to identify which is which. The nose, and he's not a perfect triangle, he's a wonky triangle. So I'm just going to make sure I lay him in the right place. And then same with the eye. It's not a perfect circle, it's a little wonky circle. So I'm just going to go on and kind of like lay it the direction it goes, right? Keep your life as easy as possible. And then that's there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is put down our 2 wings first. So let's get these guys. There we go. And what I love about this fusing mat is, see, they like stay in place. I love it. And then what I love about my glass mat, it's got little feet on it, so it doesn't wiggle on my cutting mat or on my light pad at all. It's awesome. Isn't this so cool? We're ironing over our light pad. I am beyond thrilled with this development. So again, I'm just gonna tap where the two overlap, and I'm just using the point of my iron where they overlap. Now remember my little top I built? Put him right on. There we go. And for him, I'll just quickly, boop, press right there. Now we have, oh, you know what? I shouldn't have put that down. Because I didn't put my little stripes down. But let me show you a trick. While this little guy is still hot, you can take and just ever so gently lift this guy. Really, really gently. Boop, boop, boop. Ooh, that's gentle. Gentle, 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 gentle. Look at that. Oh, I hate that I made a mistake in a tutorial. But you know what? Sometimes it's good when I make a mistake because you guys get to see how to fix it. Right? If you make a mistake, everything's fixable for the most part. So we're going to put our two little pieces down. And you just follow the line. And I know you might not be able to see through my orange on the camera, but I can, so that's good. There we go. So now we're going to iron these little guys down. Quick like. And now this little guy that we gently lifted, we're going to put him back in place. Sorry, little topper, that we did that to you, but you're fine. So give it a press. There we go. Look, crisis averted. Isn't that good to know? See, it is good that I made that little mistake because y'all know. And this little tool is just a little clover turner. What else works really good is if you have just a straight pen. That's what Mom uses. If she has this little issue, she just takes the straight pen and ever so slightly goes underneath it. So it's really easy to do. And now we're going to put our face on. So just get this little guy. And I'm going to lay out all the pieces for my face first to make sure. See, so I'm going to do this little, the two eyes and the nose and the mouth is what we're doing. Boop, if I can pick it up. Boop. And I can see my nose through here. I know it's probably hard for y'all to see, but I see it just fine. And then this little guy. And then my mouth. Boop. Boop. All right, so now let's give this a press. And so now this is gonna be all one unit, right? And so now all I have to do is connect these two together, and then we'll sew our background fabric and put it together. Now how easy was that, y'all? And I'm not even gonna peel them all the way up, just a little bit. Put this little guy in place, and voila. And then I just press where those overlap. Look at that, we have our whole unit built. I love it. So I don't need my light pad at the moment, so I'll turn that off. Now what we're gonna do is take our fabric, and like every month, all we do, line them up together. And we're gonna do a 1/4 inch seam right here. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back to show you how to put this whole little guy on. Okay, so my seam is sewn. Just gonna tack that, or give it a little setting press, and then just finger turn it over, and then press it. Easy peasy. And yes, I'm ironing over my glass. How cool is that? Now you don't want to do like lots of ironing on your glass over your light pad, right? It's meant for just like quick little bouts of pressing. So now we're going to take this little guy off of the, look at that, perfect little unit. And now I don't need my mat anymore, but I want my light pad back on, so turn it on the brightest. We're going to line the fabric up. Boop. Make sure I have that nice and straight. There we go. And you just want to make sure that you're, you know, all the way around your trim lines, right? You have more fabric than you need. Get my little fuzz off. And now holding this in place, I'm just going to gently line this guy up. Well, that was easy. Look at that. How fast was that? And now we're ready to sew. And you'll be really surprised this month because instead of lots of color changes, this entire thing, Mom sewed the whole thing in black. So that's easy. So you're gonna sew all of your stuff. Look, I didn't quite press enough right here. Boop. There you go. If you want, you can, you know, if you want to do like the final pressing, you can bring your Steady Betty out. Let me show you. Because to me, what I like about the Steady Betty is like I have this guy pretty much in place, but you'll notice when you're ironing on the glass, like your iron will rock over the seam, whereas when you like iron on your Steady Betty, the Steady Betty like absorbs that seam for you, so you can really press nicely. There you go. So you can do like one really good grippy right there. You don't want to iron too much because you can actually overexpose your heat and bond light that's on there, and you can actually make it where it won't stick anymore if you iron too much. So be careful with that, but I've never had a problem with it. Okay, so now it's time to sew it. Let me show you this sample. Everything is stitched in black, and that makes it so easy. Now, of course, this is your quilt. So if you wanted to do different colors and maybe add contrast, like you could do a fun color around the wings if you wanted to. However you want to add the contrast, you can, or you could make it where, you know, everything matches. Again, the blocks are yours to do how you like. I just like to tell you how Mom did it because I know a lot of times you want it to look just like the sample. So it's so crazy how much it comes to life once you stitch it. So have fun at your sewing machine. Enjoy all the fun buttonhole stitching or do your favorite applique stitch. And I'll see you back next month for block 12.